I said before, the only good thing is that we are not in classes right now, so our guys have been able to get a little bit more rest and go into classes. But another challenge, another very different. We went from a Northwestern challenge, which is extremely unique. The way Iowa played us, they came out pressing us right away. Now we're going to go into I make it like almost like a Wisconsin type of prep as far as what they do defensively. Very containing, going to make us make tough twos, get out on us pretty good. And so we got to just, the young men are just, I'm sure when they're in high school and they're in prep school, they're not seeing this diversity. And this is the most diversity I've probably seen in this league since I've been here. So we got to adjust again to a different team. So this team is playing pretty well. I mean, they've lost their first 2 games in the league. One at Ohio State, where probably a lot of teams are going to have a lot of problems. But Wisconsin was a very close game, and they can score the ball. They have 3 guys really scoring the ball well, but they're looking to shorten games, stay in a game, and they can beat you if you are not on your game.
Does it cause any maybe frustration or anything with the younger guys when Nebraska's going to want to slow down the pace and make you guys play it not the way you're used to?
I think that that's part of basketball. You got to be able to adjust and not get frustrated, because they're not the only ones that are going to do this either in this league or in the country. So you have to, no matter who they're playing, they're going to minimize possessions for both teams, and that maximizes some teams' chances to win, they believe. So we have is when you're in transition period, and even right now with some teams we may play, we might want to limit possessions, and if that's the strategy they use again, we have to adapt.
You talked about the intelligence of this team. Is that helping in these back-to-backs and switches?
Yeah, I've really been the way they picked up the differences in the Iowa and Northwestern prep. I was impressed with it. I mean, you didn't see it the first few minutes, but it was they were doing what they did well. But once we adjusted to it, they are just looking at their eyes and their focus in practice. They're trying the best that they can, and I don't read anything other than, I'm getting there, and some are getting there quicker than others. And truthfully, you never get there. I mean, the NBA still doesn't get there. You just keep working and try to minimize your mistakes.
Is Trey better at that this year than he was last
year?
year?
Oh yeah, and that's very natural. That's very natural. The difference is that last year he had Stu and Zach pulling him along like crazy, and that really helped. Now he's got not only focusing on what he can do better, but he's pulling guys with him. So that's all good, because that adds to our chemistry.
What's the difference or the balance between trying to rebound and get it out in transition, but not forcing tempo too much?
Well, I think that we want to get it down there as quickly as we can before. That's the best time to attack people, is in transition. So I don't think there is, as long as you value your possession. I thought we ran really well with only 6 turnovers. That's the downside. You have more possessions, you could have more turnovers. The faster you run, the more careless you could be. We were pretty good at that the other day, so I think we still want to run hard every time. It's certainly if people put 5 guys back, that's a little bit harder to run on, but you still can run on.
Seems like Glenn, for a freshman, really lets the game come to him. He's not forcing shots. I mean, is that sort of the situation he's been put in, or is it?
No, that's what he's been since the day that he got here. He's I mean, there were we were talking about today, there were some scrimmages earlier in the year, just inter-squad scrimmages. You might not take a shot in those, things where he just waits for the game to come to him and picks a spot.
I mean, I know you have so many options on this team, but are there times where you maybe want him to be more assertive at this point?
There's been times we want him to be more, but I think he's been really, lately, I think he's picked in his options very well of what's best for him. But he's a team guy, 100%. And not the guys that may be a little thirsty aren't team guys. He just is really understands his role on the team and plays it extremely well.
What about Karras? He seems to be a little bit more coming out of his shell, and he's going to the basket with a little bit more aggression and more confidence. Have you seen that?
Well, his weight. I think that weight room helps people go to the basket a great deal. They just feel more confident. It doesn't hurt as much when there's physical contact. So Yeah, as you see, you don't get a chance to watch practices, but we see a great progression with him.
How much has he gained since he got here in the
You
summer?
know, it's tough to tell because I don't think he holds it well for a long time, but the rumor was it was 180, somewhere between 182 and 185. That was the rumor. But he weighed in the 160s when he got here. Now, he had not trained a great deal that June before he got here, so he probably put on 10 this summer and hopefully 10 by now.
20 pounds?
I would say close to 20.
It's quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. He needs another 20. That's what he'll be working at. But I told him yesterday at training table, this has got to be, did you ever go to the weight room and just sort of do a couple curls and, you know, have a drink of water and get out of there? Well, if you go to the training table and you have one piece of meat and one green bean, it's the same deal. This is your training table. You need to treat it like a fitness center to get stronger.
How much do you want him to eat then?
All day long. If he can. I mean, he has to, and he will. But he's got a young birthday. August 25th is his birthday, so he's going to be 18 the entire year. So he's still growing. I think he's actually growing vertically as well. It just seemed like the other day when he walked by me, and maybe I have a good sense for it, and maybe I don't. He just looked taller. That might not be done growing. His brother is taller than his younger brother, who is taller than him. So they could keep growing.
Can you talk a little bit about the process of Tim and Trey learning to work together and mesh as a backcourt?
I think what's happened, they get great respect for each other because we match them up against each other in many drills. And as a result, when they're going against each other and they both either stop each other or give somebody something, they respect that in each other. And both of them are such hard workers and focused in practice. Those are probably our two most focused players in practice. Those are the two good guys to have focused.
Is Tim 100% yet, or is he still?
He seems to be. He's still, I mean, like most of our guys, there's 7 or 8 that are in therapy every day for some, could be some little ailment, but Tim still does it every day. But that's, as I told all of you before, if you tell Tim to go to treatment, he'll go twice. If you tell him to shoot 100 shots, he'll shoot 200. That's how he treats life.
And is there more of a timetable on Horford now? Do you think he'll be back?
Yeah, we practiced yesterday. He's going to practice today. He's going to go full court today. We'll see.
He had first day full court now?
Yep.
It's be the first time that there's a possibility he'll play then?
He could be.
Or-
He could be, yes.
People were talking about your team before the season, and you addressed that. They're doing more of that even now. Anything that you do to try and talk to the guys?
No, yeah, every day we're talking with them about, what the day-to-day approach, and then we're just trying to get better every day. We don't, to shut the distractions out of your life and just take care of today. And there's another session today. I mean, before we film, there's many days, and I'd like it to be every day. There's a mini culture growth project going on between one of our coaches or myself. Today we're talking a lot about trust and what you have to do with they've established a great trust with their coaching staff because they have their grades have been good. They've attended study hours, they attend classes, they work hard in practice, and then it goes both ways. Just continue to trust us about the importance of training table, getting enough sleep, all those things.
We saw a nice little elbow jump shot from Mitch. He said you've been working with him a little bit on his
We're
mid-range.
going in there in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Can you talk about sort of the expansion of his offensive game and what you'd like to see from
Well,
him?
it's a matter of just repetition over and over again of things. He can make those shots, but can you make them at game speed and can you make them when somebody's guarding you? You have to practice that religiously to do that. And like most big men, they're down there practicing all their inside moves and all these things. They don't get enough of the little 10, 15 footer that is essential, to really helping you beat some type of defenses when they really are collapsing on you or they're doubling you. Well, you may be more open at 10 than you're going to be at 2, no matter what plays you run. So that's an important element of most teams. So we'll continue to work on it every day. And then he's got to work on his own as well.
What did you see from Iowa defensively? They seem to, in that first half especially, do a good job of switching and giving you guys different looks of zones, of mans, of different things in that first, say, 10,
So they
15
surprised
minutes
us
or
by
so.
coming right out into the press, and they sped the tempo up a little bit, and we thought the court was more open than it actually was. You know, it's a big defense. They closed that court with better length than we probably had seen, and more attention to detail than we had seen, and had some turnovers and had a couple of missed shots, and had to guard at the other end. So we anticipated we'd be changing defenses. So fortunately, in the last few games, we've seen a lot of diversity in different defenses, so I thought we adjusted well to it.
Getting back to Karras and his eating, does he have a calorie like mark every day? Does he have to hit like 8,000 calories or something
Right,
like that?
you know, during this period, we haven't had that type of professionals around them, but now that with the two dietitians we have here, we will have more focus on that in his training table. But between John Sanderson, John Dorosorio, all the coaching staff, we do, you know, we are watching what they eat. Not probably pouring over it like you would a 5-year-old, but we are watching what he eats. And we make sure that our team here that eats correctly. You know, during the break here, we can actually take them, we can feed them because the dorms are closed, so we take them to different places that they've been eating. Today was the first day that we didn't have a mandatory type of breakfast for everybody. And so it's important to get that protein in the morning.
So there isn't like a 6,000, 7,000.
No, I don't understand all this. I'm sure that's been spoken to how many you want to get. I'm just eating. Okay, everyone, thank you.